Da, 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 da. Welcome back, my friends, to Bjjbrick Quick. This is a quick jiu-jitsu podcast with one of the crappier theme songs. My name is Byron. Today I'm going to be talking about getting my brown belt, what that was like. And I had just last time talked to you about getting my purple belt. And I think I was a purple belt for probably 6, 8-ish years. Consider that to be a little bit longer than most. And there's a few things in there, changing of gyms a little bit, not really teams, but gyms moving. And we were under a couple different affiliates for a while. And I was always just hands off on that. John Castillo would find people that he would kind of see if they would be a good fit for us or not. And we eventually found Renato Tavares. We love Renato. Still, he's a great person, and I haven't seen him for a few years. But I really, the times I have trained with him, I really enjoyed it. And Renato was the person who gave me my brown belt. And at this time, it seemed like it was a pretty organized thing. He sent... my coach said, I have this guy who's a purple belt for probably, and he probably knew the time, 8 years. I don't know. And he said, I would like for him to test for his brown belt. Renato sent a list of techniques to know. And it was like several pages of things. And some of them I didn't know. It's just because if I don't play, for example, butterfly guard, which I do, if I don't play butterfly guard, I'm not going to know 3 sweeps from butterfly. I might know 1. And so I kind of had to, I think one of my problems, I didn't play spider guard. And so I had to pick up a couple of spider guard techniques and submissions from spider and sweeps from spider and learn some things. And it seemed like I did quite a bit of academic research preparing for this test. And me and some other students would come in and train and kind of expand our knowledge about techniques we were not confident in, and we would show, our coach would be there as well, and he would help us clean them up a bit, and he would email Renato back and forth. Renato was in Florida at the time, and here we are in Kansas, and he would email him back and forth a couple of questions, and Renato would give him some guidance. Eventually, Renato came to town. I imagine he taught a seminar that day. Or maybe he taught a seminar on a Saturday and we tested on Sundays. I don't really remember. Hard thing about this is I don't have a great memory of the event. And anyway, there were probably half a dozen of us testing for different belts. And Renato's an intense person. He's not like physically a large person. I think he's 140 pounds, and I don't know how tall he is, but he's significantly shorter than me, and I'm 5'11". But having grappled with him, I knew he was very good at jiu-jitsu. Renato is the person I first learned to understand pressure. I remember and I'm going to go on a little sub tangent here, but I don't really have time to do that in this podcast, but here we go. The first time Renato was crushing me, he had side control on me, and he was squeezing my ribs and pressing on my lungs, and my face was turned the wrong way. I couldn't really see, and it was just a miserable experience. And I don't know if I tapped from this or what, but I remember when he let up, I couldn't believe it that nobody else was on top of him pushing down. Because he is smaller than me. I was a small grappler. And he crushed the life out of me. And so I from that moment, I knew that there was something different than what I understood to pressure. I thought pressure meant being on your toes and laying on the person. And what he did was not that. Anyway, get back on the story here. I think there was a few people that came to Wichita from another maybe Topeka, which is a couple hours away, or Kansas City. And one of them was also testing for the belt. So how perfect is this? We get to have a little match. And rolled with some people that I didn't really know that were testing for various belts, and tried not to make a fool of myself. Oh, before the whole thing started, he before we started techniques and all that stuff, he said, "Hey guys, don't be nervous. Don't you guys look nervous? I'm sure we look nervous." He goes, "Just remember this: if you make one mistake, you fail." And then he started laughing because it was a little more lenient than that, but it was like a joke, and people who were too nervous, more nervous than we should have been. Anyway, we showed our techniques. I roll with a few people I didn't know, and he's then awards me a brown belt, and I was very excited. That day was the first day I remember this feeling that I ever thought about being a black belt. I never even thought about it. That I could recall. It was just so far away that it wasn't a thing that really popped into my head as a goal. When he gave me that brown belt, tied it around my waist, I'm like, I think he said something like, the next one's black belt, and then you start all over. And I didn't really understand it. I'll talk about that next time. But that was me getting my brown belt. And I really enjoyed training with Hanato, and he still comes to Kansas City quite regularly. I need to get up there and get some mat time, or at least attend a seminar with him. That'd be awesome. Tell me about you guys. If you guys achieved the rank of brown belt, what was that like? Any of you guys know Hanato? Amazing person. If you have any topics you'd like me to cover, send it in to bjbrick@gmail.com. Love to hear what you guys want to talk about. Until then, keep training and stay sweaty, my friends.